this is Guy. So today, I'm basically going to tell you a story when I was. Let me see. The last story I was telling you, I was when I was like 3. So like this time, I'm just gonna make it more detailed because my other stories are not as detailed, and I'm like really tired of trying to remember like all the details whenever I'm telling the story. So if I make it really detailed, if I go over it and like I'm planning to animate it, right? So if I go over it, I could just like it'll be easier to animate because I would have like all the details and stuff, you know. So let me tell you a story when I was 3. Cause like I was telling you about how my room looked, but let me tell you a story what happened when I was 3. So when I was 3, my this was before my 4th birthday. Okay, my room used to look like I had this room with these like a princess decoration across the walls, and all 4 walls were pink. The room was really big actually, and I had this bed, and above this bed was like this like I can't remember what it's called, but it's this little ring with like this material was caped over it to like cover the bed. It's called something. I don't remember what it's called. But like I'm gonna pull up a picture of it right quick. Let me show you. Okay, so I changed my mind by using pictures, but I researched what the thing was called. It was called a canopy. It's basically like this. It's similar to a you know those cradles that be hanged over baby beds with those like toys. It's similar to that, but it's just like a ring, and then this ring gets connected to the ceiling, and it's on a hook where this like thin fabric just hanging over it and covers the bed. It's a canopy, like it was a pink canopy basically, right? And like in my room there was like a lot of toys, like a lot of bears. More than half of them were donated, like I told you about, because she was donating them because she was like tired of them. Like she didn't even clean up the room. I did, so I don't know why she was complaining. So anyways, I saw her like I was watching like Arthur like on my TV, because like when I was younger, and like okay, I forgot to tell you that we lived in apartments, because like for a long period of time we didn't live in the house until I turned like 6, and then we moved into a house. But before that we lived in apartments with cockroaches. That's why I hated cockroaches. I'm terrified. I'm trying to get over it because I won't see them whether I like it or not. And yeah, so let me back to utility. So I would turn the TV up really loud so I won't hear them the walls, because I don't want to hear I have good hearing. Sometimes it could be like a blessing or it feel like a curse, especially when I go outside and like woods stuff. I'll be hearing all sorts of animals that I do not want to hear like at the moment. So yeah. So anyways, back to what I was telling you. But like I turned it really loud, right? And I was watching Arthur. I was sitting down watching the TV, because back then the TVs didn't look like this. It wasn't flat screen like TVs are now. It was like rounded and like big and heavy, like really heavy. Like if a TV fell on someone, like a kid, they would straight flat. They straight flat would have not lived. They would have been gone. They wouldn't be alive anymore. So anyways, basically yeah, so the TV was on the ground. It wasn't on the stand because we didn't have a stand, so it was on the ground. And like eventually we got it on the stand, but that was before it was on the stand. Like it wasn't even like a stand, it was actually a dress, like a toy box dresser that you put toys in. Anyways, but that's beside the point. It was on the floor, my TV. Now I was watching TV like Arthur. I was watching Arthur because I remember hearing the music, the piano sound whenever like they do a flashback. And it, like I don't remember what episode I was watching. I just remember DW was getting on my nerves like usual. And I saw Nelly come in the room, right? And I heard the door open. I looked back to see what world she's doing, because like she's always doing something. And I saw her go to the canopy and was loosening the screw that keeps it hanging up, like loosening it. And the way she looked at me and smiled, I'm like, oh, I know what she's trying to do. Like, so basically I figured out automatically she's going to try to get that canopy to follow me and hit me in my head, because I remember that very clearly, and I remember that I was like avoiding that bed, like where the bed was, cause like that canopy was huge, like it was big compared to my head. It's like I'm trying to find something similar in my room that's the same size as it. Like I'm trying to see. It's the tire to my bike is the same size because the tire to my bike is 26 inches and 26 inches like what's it called? The circumference is 26 inches. It was at the same size. No, like that. It was like it's like similar. It was close to 26 inches. Like it was around 24 inches, but it was big compared to my head and my body. Pretty much, I wasn't that tall. I was the same size as a 1-year-old at 3. So I was 1 foot tall. I was not tall with gang. I was not like a tall kid for like I haven't been tall for a while. So basically, I was avoiding that bed because like the bed I had wasn't like an actual bed. It was this like plastic bed with like a plastic mattress to like you could like find them sometimes in America. I don't know other places if they have it or not, but in America they have these little plastic bags that I hate that make noises when you sit on it. Like it make a noise that I hate. That I cannot stand those things. I freaking hate those type of beds. And they would make this like scratching noise. I freaking hate. And basically I was avoiding the bed because like she loosened the canopy above it. So I know it's only a matter of time before that thing falls on me, right? And I remember that I was I'm trying to make this detailed. Let me tell you more about the room before I get to tell you how the thing hit me in my head still, even though I was trying to avoid it. So let me tell you about the room. So like we had this like princess decoration like across one side of the wall. Like okay, so let me tell you what the door was like. Okay, the room was a what's the shape called? It's a square with a 3-dimensional square. It's a cube. So yeah, the room was shaped like a cube, but like a big cube. Like it was similar to shape like a cube, but like up to a certain point. No, actually no, it was shaped like a cube, and it had 2 windows. Like one to the like I can't describe it exactly. Like I think it would be way easier for me to animate this than describe it. But all 4 of the rooms was all the 4 walls were pink, which I like hated. Like I didn't. Okay, when I was younger, I liked the color pink, but not like I didn't like the walls painted pink because like if you stare at any color that has red in it too much, and then you stare at anything else, everything looked green, which I hate because I was terrified of zombies. I'm still terrified of zombies. I don't watch zombie movies or anything horror related because I want to have nightmares. So yeah, basically I really hated that room because not only it was so much pink in that room, it would give me a headache from all the pink, and the curtains were pink, and then like oh my gosh, there was so much pink that I was so sick of it. Like I really didn't like sleeping in that room. I would actively avoid sleeping in that room because that room, not only it was like all pink, but at nighttime it was terrible. Like oh, I freaking hate that room. That room felt creepy. Like all the orbs that was all in the other places in the house, like in the apartments in the house, in that room was always cold, like bone chilling cold, and I freaking hated it. Like it was like this type of cold that you feel whenever you're in danger. Like you go in that room, you just feel like you're gonna see the afterlife. That's what you felt like. It felt like a cold chill in that room constantly. I was convinced that like there was someone who cursed that room. That room was cursed as can be, because I believe in a lot of stuff, and curses is one of them. Because some people are indeed curse. It's just yeah. So anyways, I avoided that room at night because it was creepy. It would like make sounds like it would you know, a room is bad when like during daytime there's cockroaches on the walls, but during nighttime they all run away and avoid that room. You know, there's there's things that you just shouldn't do. Like if certain like if bugs are avoiding that room, why would I would go in there? And then like she wanted me to like Nelly wanted me to sleep in that room. No, if the cockroaches are avoiding it, why would I want to go in that creepy room? It would be making sounds. I'm like, nope, I'm not going in there. And like, at dead of night, hearing people screaming. No, thank you. This room is cursed. I'm not going in that room at night. In the daytime, it was fine, but as soon as it hit night, it was terrible. I freaking hate that room. It didn't help that I could like see ghosts. Like I could see ghosts, but like not anymore because I kind of locked it away. The ability to see ghosts, but I still see them sometimes, like far away from me. Because at one point in time, I learned I could end them, so I was going around ending ghosts. Then after that, ghosts started to stay away from me. That was probably not the best idea. But anyways, basically, I do see ghosts sometimes. But like sometimes even I can't like recognize them right away. I recognize it like a few moments after the fact. I'm like, wait a second, that was ghost. And then yeah. So anyways, like oh yeah, like the thing about ghosts is they don't have shadows. That's how you recognize them. If a person doesn't have a shadow, just know you're talking to a ghost. You're not talking to a person. Well, technically, ghosts are people. They're just like your body and then your soul. It's basically a ghost is a person, like a being without a body. So like it's just the soul part that's separate from the body. It's pretty much what a ghost is. So it's just oh yeah, ghosts do not have shadows. So if you know this person don't have a shadow, that's a ghost. You're talking to. But anyways, that's the point. There's good ghosts and there's bad ghosts. Like there's bad people and good people. Like usual, you should stay away from the bad ghosts because they can hurt you. So anyways, let me go back to what I was talking about. I was like obviously avoiding that room in general, especially at night. I freaking hated that room. Back to what I was saying. Let me describe the room. It had carpet, which did not help. You don't know why? Because cockroaches can hide in carpet. I forgot about that. Because I forgot about that. Like, sure, I could actually feel them in the carpet, but like, my brain don't be thinking about certain things. Like, my brain's like out of sight, out of mind sometimes. So I'll be like, it's out of sight, it's out of mind, and then I'll remember it, and then I'll be like, I can't forget it anymore. So yeah. So basically, let me tell you about it. So the canopy was like really big compared to my bed. My bed was tiny. Like I'm trying to remember the smallest size in America because beds have sizes over here. I don't know about other places. It's like I looked at my audience and it says some of them were German. I was confused. I was like, okay, that's like on the other side of the planet, but okay. And then some of them were Korean. I was like, okay, also on the other side of the planet. Why? But anyways, and I was like looking at the statistics and I was like, oh, this make no sense, but okay, whatever. So anyways, I wonder what part should I make this, cause like I should change when I was a baby to when I was a kid, cause like I could walk at the age of 3. Like I learned how to walk at like 1 and a few months old, and then I should just put it when I was a kid, cause I could walk. Oh no, a toddler you could walk. So let me change it to instead when I was a baby to when I was a toddler, because I was a toddler for a while, all the way until I hit 6 is like, then a 6-year-old is considered as a kid, I think, because last time I researched it was like that, unless they change the ages, because they be changing stuff, because people develop at different ages and different times. So whenever I research, it's always just the majority, not the whatchamacallit. It's like most of the people. So anyways, that's what I was saying before I got extremely sidetracked. Um, I was actually avoiding it, right? And I was actually avoiding that room, right? And she called me, Nelly, to come eat some food, right? My dad was at work like usual, and let me remember. I'm trying to remember what we were eating because I just remember she definitely put something in my food because as soon as I ate that mess, I passed straight flat out, which doesn't happen normally unless I eat something I'm not supposed to. She put something in my food. There's too many things that you could eat that could easily knock you out. So, like, it would have been the first time she put something in my food. Like, she put several things in my food that either caused me to be sick, caused me to be in a coma, caused me like I've been in comas before. Like I remember being comas, like comatose many times. But like so many things. Like she put something in there because as soon as I ate it, I knocked out. And then when I started waking up, I remember waking like I don't remember what food we were eating though. I'm trying to remember what was it, but I don't remember what I ate. And like usually I can remember what happened before I get knocked out. Usually, unless it's nope. I can't remember what I was eating. All I remember is raviolis, but I don't know if you could do that with raviolis. Wait, no. No, you can do that with raviolis. That makes sense. So basically, she gave me some raviolis, and then she told me to eat it, and she did this look that she does whenever she is trying to end me again, or like trying to end me again. Like usually she does the certain like that I'm used to. So like you're wondering why, if you're wondering why I didn't just refuse the food that's obviously laced, because I knew it was laced with something, but I didn't know what. The way she was looking at it, I already knew she tapped my food. Why didn't I like stop? Well, basically, if I refuse the food that she's obviously laced with, she's just gonna hold me down and force it down my throat. So I don't really want that, because she doesn't really do, like when she force feeds someone, she just shoves it down your throat without you like chewing it, so you won't choke. So most of the time I'll be choking, so I don't like choking, so I just straight like eat. Like, okay, she's definitely laced it with something, but I'm gonna just straight like eat this and hope for the best. I hope I don't RIP. But anyways, basically I ate the raviolis, right, because I already knew it was laced with something because it didn't smell right. Because ravioli smelled a certain way, but it didn't smell right. It was smelled off. So I was like, yeah, it's laced with something. Like I just remember it smelled off. Like it smelled like ravioli mixed with something. But I haven't smelled that smell yet, so I don't know what it was. Like what type of medication it was, because it was definitely medication. She just put in my food, but I don't know what it was. It's gonna take me a while to figure it out because there's so many things that can put you to sleep other than sleeping medicine and anesthesia, so many other things. So anyways, so many other things. So like as soon as I took one of the ravioli, and I was like, she was looking at me like smiling. I was like, yeah, she definitely put something in here. I hope I don't go to coma again. So I put it in my mouth, I chewed it, and then as soon as I swallowed it, I said, I got knocked out like instantly. My I don't know what you put in there for me to go to sleep that fast. I was not even that sleepy. That's the thing. I like immediately like lost consciousness. It said boom and hit the table. I remember hitting the table, and then I remember waking up with a headache, which I really hate. Waking up best. And I remember waking up, and I remember I was tied to the bed with my cover tied to the bed. And I remember hearing a creaking noise of something unscrewing, and I looked up, and the camera was right above my head. And I remember it was shaking. It was getting ready to fall, and I was trying to get up. I was like, oh, I'm tied to my bed. And then it said, and hit me in my head. And then it caused like a gash, like in the back of my head, which I still have. Like I have a dent in the back of my head. I have multiple dents in the back of my head actually. That's why my head is not shaped right. But anyways, you can't tell because with my hair, you can't tell my head is not shaped right. But if I cut it all my hair off, I would be able to tell it. And I would be able to see each dent in my skull. I hope this is not messing up my brain when I think about it. All the dents in my head. I probably should do some more research. But yeah, it hit me in my head and it started to, bleed. And it like oh no, like it hurt bad. Like when that thing dropped and it said boom and it hit me in the back of my head, it hurt like oh my gosh, like it bad because that thing was made out of metal. Why was there a metal canopy covered in like barely any material over my bed? I don't know why there was that. Like, and once that thing hit me in my head, right? It hit me in my head, right? And I just remember struggling to get from under the tied thing that she tied me to the bed, and I got from there, and I felt like a drip of blood like hit my shoulder. I remember looking at the blood at my hand, and it was like, and I thought I was like, oh, I'm gonna bleed. If I bleed anymore, I'm gonna bleed to the afterlife. I was being really worried. And like after that, she all she did was wash my hair and then bandage it, right? We didn't go to the hospital at all. Consider the size of it. It was like a big cut on my head, but now it's like small because my head got bigger. Like, well, now as an adult, it's like a small cut, but like I could feel where it hit me. Like I could feel this like bump where it hit me because I have multiple bumps in my back of my head. I have this long bump. I have so many. Like my head is not shaped right. So anyways, it's not shaped like this. It was supposed to be. My hair used to be round. It's not round. It's like not round anymore. So anyways, it hit me in the back of my head. She washed my hair. Like she scrubbed my hair hard. It hurt like bad because like in the water it has like alkaline and chlorine in the regular like water, and the water you pull pull out the sink if you don't filter it and stuff. It has stuff in there that like supposed to keep it clean and stuff, but it's still not that clean. But basically she when she poured water on my head, it hurt bad because like it got into that open wound on my head and it hurt so bad. You probably heard my country accent. I do have a country accent. You just barely can hear it because I like restrain it so you can understand me. Because I don't talk English that well. So I talk pretty slow on purpose so you can understand me. So anyways, as I was saying before, my country accent got the best of me. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, right. I got hit in my head and I lost conscious like for a second. Like when I got hit, it was like I felt my brain go like, okay, my brain is centered like in the middle like most people's brain is. I think it's supposed to be. I don't know. I have to research again. I was double checking all my answers because I have trust issues. So yeah, so when my head got hit by that canopy that hurts so bad, it like my brain flew and hit the front of my skull and knocked me out to blue. And then when it flew back to like the original position of my brain, I came back conscious. So like I blacked out for like a moment. Okay, so that's what happened, right? And she let me tell you, she like untied me and took me and like washed my hair and then like put something on the back of my head, like a hat, on my head. Like she didn't even cover up the wound. I remember that I went around looking for something to cover up the wound. So I remember tying something around my head, like a piece of my clothing around my head, to like trying to stop the bleeding. You know, basically when my dad came back, she lied and said the canopy just fell on her head, and I don't know what happened. And I was just staring at her like, you freaking liar. You little. I just stared at her as angrily as one does who cannot talk well enough to tell her, and even if one could, one was not believed most of the time. One felt isolated in one's own house. Maybe I just changed. I do often do stuff like this. I just talk to myself a lot. You can tell. But anyways, I tried to make it more detailed, but I messed up at somewhere. Oh yeah. So yeah, she strictly lied to my dad when he came back home the next day. Because he'd be coming back home at night, but I don't always be awake at night back then. Like he'd be coming up at like 6. He came back like at 6 p.m. at night. I'd be asleep at the time because she'd be telling me to go to sleep pretty early. So yeah, I'd be asleep at that time. And like the next day, it was the next day after that she's like lied and said, I don't know what happened. It just fell on her head. And then she got rid of all the decorations. Like my room was like decorated in like a princess like way. Even though I wasn't treated like a princess, but like it was decorated in a princess like way, even though I was being super neglected. And I stayed home by myself most of the time with my bears, and I was just talking to my bears and using my imagination. I just want to give myself a hug sometimes. Like it's okay, guys. It's okay. Cause like the things I was doing at times, I was like, oh, you need a friend, an actual friend, not the people around you. Cause they keep on saying you're friends, and then as soon as anything get hard, they desert you and stab you in your back repeatedly. But anyways, like back then, well still now, I imagine like I have imaginary parents and then I have my actual parents. So like I have an imaginary mother and I named her Bethany because Bethany is like a really old name, but I rarely hear anyone name Bethany in America that's not alive, like or on a gravestone. So yeah, Bethany. I named her Bethany, and I had an imaginary dad too. But I was like, for a while, I couldn't remember why I had an imaginary dad until fairly recently. That I talked to him about something. He didn't believe me. I was like, yeah, I see why I have an imaginary dad now. So yeah, I learned I had. Basically, I'm very discontent with my life, but that's just life. But basically, she took all my decorations, right? I'm going back to the story if you're confused where I'm at. I tend to get sidetracked a lot because I'd be bored. Like I've been bored for days. Like I was trying to figure out when should I like make the shorts about what I ate like within like, should I make it every day or every 3 days? Because like recently I started to eat like trying to eat like 1 or 2 meals a day because we're getting low on food, right? So I'm trying to conserve. So until we make it to this next food shopping and stuff, I always be conserving, but like my supers don't conserve, so that's why we run out of food in the first place. But anyways, we're not out, but like low, and we don't always we don't have the seasonings I need. Like since I'm like not what's it called, an expert at cooking, I'm like advanced at most. I can't like substitute other seasonings for other seasonings, because most of the substitutes we have, we don't even have the substitutes for most of the seasonings that I need. So yeah, my food will also be tasting bad because there's my country accent again. Tasting bad because what's it called? I learned that my country accent comes out more when I'm tired. I don't know why. I'm sleepy. Oh yeah, maybe go back to my story before I get so sidetracked. Like this video I recorded is like 48 minutes and 11 seconds long, so I need to talk about the story. I was supposed to tell multiple stories and I got sidetracked again. So like she took all the stuff that was like princess decorated and make it look like a girl room, and she took it all out. She took all the princess decoration off the wall. She donated mostly all my toys, except for she left the creepy ones. You know, the ones that gave me nightmares in the room, because there was some creepy toys in our room, and I didn't like them. I really hate those toys. They were creepy. Like it was like the type of things that would make babies cry if they saw them. Downright creepy. Like I would used to like throw those toys in the closet because I freaking those toys were creepy. Okay, they were giving me nightmares. I was just throwing them in the closet because that's what I do. Sometimes that's what I did back then. I threw them in the closet. So just basically donated all my toys and stuff, and after that there was barely anything in that room. Like when I tell you it was like hardly any toys, it was like at first it was like around like 50 or 60 bears in that room, and then after the donation it was like 10 bears in the room. And then all the decorations and stuff was gone, and the room looked pretty dang bare. Okay, like at first it looked like a girl's room, and then after that mess happened, you couldn't tell whose room you could just tell it was a kid's room, but you couldn't tell that it was a girl's room. Okay, because like some like people's room, you could go in their room and like, yeah, I could tell that this is a boy's room or a girl's room, right? But now there's more genders, but back then it was like only two. So anyways, the room at first, like it looked like homey, like the room looked like someone lived in it, and then after she did that mess, it didn't look like no one lived in our room. It looked like bare, like it was just, she took away like a whole lot of stuff. Like at one point in time she took away the curtains that kept me like privacy from peeping toms, from looking inside my room, because they do that. I really didn't want to go in that room then. After she took off the couch, like the curtains off the like windowsill, I really didn't want to go in that room after that. But like my dad convinced her to put the curtains back for obvious reasons, and it was just so bare. Like mostly all my toys were gone, and I was sad, cause like most of all my toys were gone. Like I like toys still, because mainly I didn't get like a chance to like grow out toys like everybody else did. Like everybody else got to like move on, got to grow out the stuff, and I was like forced out of the stuff. It was just forcibly taken from me. Like when I was 6, and they said they kept on telling me to grow up. And it was like, I remember asking them, what were you supposed to do when you were like a grown up? What I'm supposed to do? Like, I don't know how to be a grown up. And then like, now I'm finally a grown up, I'm like, wow, no one didn't even teach me nothing. How am I supposed to do anything? I'm just like confused. Like, I have nowhere to go like usual. I just had to figure it all out like usual. look again, and then I get feel mad. That's everything. Everything. I didn't get to grow out toys. I still like toys. I remember we went to Walmart like somewhere this time this year. I went down the toy aisle. I was like, oh wow, all these toys. I want to buy them so badly. It's like I just like toys because I never got to grow out of it. Like you're supposed to like naturally grow out things and then go on to like other things, but I didn't get to do that. I was just more like forced out of it. Like it was forcibly taken from me. Like my stuff was donated, my kitty stuff was donated to my siblings, and then they would take away my books, like my kid books, and then they would replace it with read these adult books. And I was like, this is boring. There's no pictures. Like, they're like, oh, you want to read this book that you already read before many times? Here you go. Nope, I don't want that book. I already know what everything in that book. I already know. Stop giving it to me. I'm really tired of it. They was just trying to force me to grow up, and then by the time I'm an adult, they'd be like, why don't you know this? Why don't you know that? Well, maybe because you never taught me that. And when I was asking you when I was younger, you kept on saying, I don't know, look it up, I don't know, look it up, I don't know, look it up, getting on my goddamn nerves. And you expect me to like magically know. Like my dad recently, he was like, how you don't know how to put on a two-way call? Well, first of all, I didn't have a phone. Okay, I didn't get a phone until I was 16. You know, a phone that can actually call people until I was 16. So why do you expect me to know that? Why do you expect me to know that? I didn't get a phone until I was 16. So that was like 40. I only have, I can't say how many years I actually had the phone to be able to figure out my age. I'm not trying to do that. So, just know I'm an adult and I can't drink alcohol. So yeah. I'm glad about that. The alcohol part. I don't really like alcohol anyways. So, basically, it's just a wild ride. My life is a wild ride. A ride of misery. Soon it shall be happiness. I will work on it. Like right now, I'm watching cartoons because I never got to do that. Like I did get to watch cartoons, but like I got to watch cartoons all the way until a certain point, until I was forced off the cartoons because I had to go to school, and it was not a fun time. But I told you when I was 3, like when I was 4, there was a lot of stuff that happened in each age. A lot of stuff, a lot of things that shouldn't even happen to me. There was like, I had parents, but they weren't protecting me really, when I think about it. Like there were so many things I was exposed to that I shouldn't have been exposed to, that traumatized me, and that's now coming back later in my life. That's not helping, that I'm realizing now. I'm like, oh, I was never got to be actually kid. Be an actual kid. Oh, that's great. I feel so happy knowing that my childhood doesn't exist. Because like, I be like watching people outside, and watching people that are my age, and I'm starting to realize their childhood and my childhood are nothing the same. My childhood, I was being locked outside and stuff, and trying to forage off of plants and stuff to detect which plant I could eat and which plant would send me to a grave. And then I was reading botany books. Botany is the study of plants, by the way, for those you didn't know. And I was reading books about botany in the library because Nellie wouldn't let me look it up because Nellie was being a jerk, because she wouldn't let me on the computer for a while. So there's that. I wasn't allowed on the computer computer for a while or have a phone. And I was like trying to get them to buy me a phone for like a while. Like I became 13. It's like, can I have a phone? All but the kids have a phone my age. It's like, and then my dad said, "Oh, if everybody jump off a cliff, would you jump off a cliff?" No, I wouldn't. But it's kind of crazy that I don't have a phone, and you. And then they want me to watch my siblings. I'm supposed to tell you if these kids who are related to my siblings that don't listen, that be trying to do great stuff like this, things on fire. I'm supposed to tell you if you don't be answering your emails, because the only thing I had back then was their emails. And if they want to answer the emails, I'm like, help me. And they finally got me a phone. That's the reason that you get your kid a phone to like, to communicate with you or to call the police if they're in danger. Nope, they got me a phone because when they went out to like have their date night, like every anniversary they do that. They have their date night. They wanted me to watch my siblings who don't listen. They wanted me to watch them, so they want me to be able to contact them when they are doing stuff they're not supposed to. That's why they bought me a phone, because they want me to be able to call them when my siblings were not listening. That's why the reason they bought me a phone. I didn't get a phone when I asked for it for like my birthday multiple times. I didn't get a tricycle, even though the tricycle was cheaper than the bike. I got the bike before I even got a tricycle. I never got the tricycle. I'm putting plans to buy myself a tricycle at this point. And yeah, that's pretty much. But let me go back to tell you, I get like 7 minutes left. Let me see if that's enough to tell you a story about when I was 3, before my 4th birthday. This happened before my 4th birthday, like a few days before my 1st birthday. It was the day that I asked for a tricycle, because all the kids at that age had a tricycle. Actually, they had it before that. And you know what they said? They said it was too high. You know what? How cheap a tricycle was back then. They were trying to buy a metal tricycle. I told them they could buy a plastic one. The plastic ones were cheap. Why were you trying to buy a metal tricycle? They said they kept on saying it will last longer and stuff. But yeah, looking how most of my stuff is gone that I had before I even moved here to this house. I don't think that would have mattered, because like I got a bike instead of a tricycle when I turned 4. Let's just say that was not. And then they didn't even they gave me a bike without training rules at first. I was like, I don't know how to ride a bike, remember? That's why I asked for a tricycle to begin with. And they're like, let me teach you how to ride a bike. And then they taught me how to ride a bike. And oh yeah, I'm gonna tell you that story later, about how many disappointments I got on my birthday. Like, let me tell you the overbuild of most of my birthdays. Most of my birthdays, I didn't get the gifts I want. Like usual, I started to like look for cheap stuff for my birthday, because most of the stuff they didn't even get me. And then like they didn't even tell me, like they'd be telling me the day before my birthday, like, oh yeah, we couldn't get that toy you wanted. Like, why didn't you tell me way earlier? Then we could get like a replacement toy or something. Why you tell me the day before my birthday? Do you want me to be sad on my birthday? Is that it? Because it sure feel like that. Like they were ticking me off. Stuff like they would not give me the toys that I wanted most of the time. So I was already constantly sad. Not helping my sadness. It just made me more sad. And then they would like be forgetting stuff. Like I'd be writing it, like we have this thing called a birthday list, right? We have this thing called a birthday list for our birthdays, because they be forgetting stuff, magically forgetting stuff. I mean, because like to them, my dad and then Nelly said, your birthday's not really important to us. Like, yeah, the day I was born into this world, it's not that important to you. I feel so something that's not happy, but okay, I see. It's not like we're not required to celebrate your birthday. You weren't required to have me either, but yet you did that. See? Get on my nerves. You weren't required to make me either, but yet you did that. And like, we're not required to celebrate your birthday. And then like, when I was not happy when they didn't buy the toys that I wanted, like they like, oh, it was too high. The drone I wanted was $20. You could actually get it for $5 at the Dollar Tree. Yeah, you kept on trying to get the $20 one. I mean, not $21 one, the $100 one. And then I told you that I wanted the $20 one from Walmart. That is not my problem. You weren't listening. It's not my problem. You're not listening. Right? Like, I would be so specific with the list down to the very letter, and somehow they messed it up somehow. Like, oh, we couldn't find it. It was out of stock. And then I'll go to the website, and then we go in the store, and I just point at it. Look, it's stock. What are you talking about? Like, you didn't put that on your list. You should have put up a picture on your list. And I was like, I was being more and more specific every time that somebody screwed up. I was like, you're doing this on purpose. You must be doing this on purpose. You must want me sad on my birthday or something, because you're not really making me happy. And then like, it's like, oh, we're not required to celebrate your birthday. We just do this because we love you and stuff. Like, okay, what you're saying and what you're doing do not reflect nothing. Does not reflect nothing. Sure, you may not be required to celebrate my birthday, but if you don't celebrate my birthday, you know what? And this of my birthdays weren't even celebrated, so I don't know why they weren't even saying that. I don't know why they were. We're not required to celebrate your birthday. I'm like, I'm 10 years old. If you don't celebrate my birthday, I'm going to remember this. You know that for the rest of my life. I'm not gonna forget. Like, at all. Like, when I'm required to celebrate your birthday, I just stared at them. And I was like, okay, I can, yeah. Okay, I know this. You told me so many times. Like, they even said that a lot. We're not required to celebrate birthday whenever I was not happy. That you messed up the list, even though I was they also required me to stay under a budget too. Like, I couldn't go over such price. Oh yeah, like and subscribe. I will see you next time. Peace.